BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com, boys. Episode number 119 of The Lobby. What's going on, guys? What is going on? I'm very excited for the football game tonight. Dolphins and Bills, Donnie. I said it on the forum time and time again. Yeah. I know the Dolphins are a horrible team, but I think 12 and a half points is a ton of points.
It is a lot of points. It really is, specifically on a Thursday night football game, which both teams don't have a lot of times to prepare. Now, the one thing is the Miami Dolphins usually don't do all that well traveling up to Buffalo, but a lot of times they're traveling up to Buffalo in late November and December when it's freezing cold. Tonight's temperatures, high 60s, no precipitation in the forecast, and light winds. That should help Miami. And they're going to need a lot of help tonight. This is one of those games where Buffalo should absolutely roll. But do you want to take the 12.5? That's the key. Hey, take a money line. Yeah, nobody's taking a money line tonight, laying all that much juice. But also, if I do want to attack this game, and I think Buffalo moves the football, and I do, you're trying to find ways for prop bets. Like, is it going to be Cook out of the backfield? Is it going to be Josh Allen at quarterback? Is it going to be Keon Coleman at wide receiver? Or somebody else, one of those dual tight ends, to score a touchdown? The issue that I have sometimes with the Buffalo Bills is they're so good. It's almost like the Detroit Lions, where it's like, hey, I want to bet Detroit. And it's like, damn it, it was Gibbs' week, and I bet Montgomery, or vice versa. Or this was Jameson Williams' week. I should have went Amon-Ra St. Brown. So for me, I'm just going to keep it simple. I think Josh Allen has a big night tonight, which means 30-plus points for the Buffalo Bills. Don't care what Miami does. Whoa. He's going to throw at least 2 touchdown passes. That's what I'm going with tonight. If Buffalo rolls, it's because Josh Allen is absolutely orchestrating everything out there. 2 touchdown passes is the way I'm playing this game. I'm leaving the total alone. I'm leaving the side alone. I'm rolling with Josh Allen.
All righty, thank you. Pipe, over to you. Let's get your take on this Buffalo-Miami matchup, buddy.
Well, man, I don't really like it. You know, I don't like laying double digits in an NFL game ever. So I'm gonna just do a teaser, and you could either tease down Buffalo, depending whether you get 6 or 7, under a touchdown, 5.5, depending what way you go. And then I got to go with the under. You know, I'm going to add the 6 points. Usually I don't do it on a total, but that's probably the way I go, man.
All righty, yep. Pipe. Good luck with that. Reload, let me jump over to you. Bills and Dolphins tonight. Where are you leaning on this one?
Yeah, well, I took a look at this one. I'm going to go with the under 50.5. The total's gone up a smidge through the week. I think it's going to be kind of a lot like the Bills-Jets game was. I think the Bills are going to try to put it away early, and we might see some garbage time come third and fourth quarter. The Dolphins, you never know. They might sneak in a backdoor cover. So I think the spread, I'm going to stay away from that with the Bills. You know, it's too high for the Bills to lay. And the Dolphins, you know, they may just toss in a total clunker. So under 50.5, I think is the way to go here.
All righty, Reload. Good luck. And let's go over to Sam, whose back door is always open for a cover.
Bobby, we didn't even get introductions this week. You just went right into it, you know? So,
Bobby,
Bobby's flustered.
Damn it, man.
What's going on? It's beautiful right now in upstate New York. It's like 80 degrees right now. So, right into that fall temperature, getting to that low 70s, just like Donnie said. The weather's going to be beautiful, even in Buffalo, where it should be, a foot of snow coming in the next couple weeks, going into October. But yeah, for tonight, I'm with Donnie. I'm going to be taking props on this one, string together a same game parlay. I like James Cook anytime touchdown, as well as his over 64.5 rushing yards. And then I like Tyreek Hill to get over 69.5 receiving yards. I put those 3 together, and then I just took the Bills money line and the Bills first half for a 5-team same game parlay, cook it up and see what happens.
Good old Sammy.
I see what you did there, Sammy.
I love what you did there.
Donnie, let me go over to you. Let's talk some day baseball. I know games are already underway, but what do you got for tonight?
Yeah, day baseball. I got burned a little. I thought the Mets would win today. They did win going away. Good pitching performance by the young kid on the mound. I thought they would end up hitting Suarez, and they did. But I got burned a little bit on Detroit, man. That offense just can't get it together. But tonight, 2 good looks here. Cincinnati's still fighting for a playoff spot going up against the Chicago Cubs. Chicago Cubs clinched yesterday on the road in Pittsburgh. They had a good night out on the town. Took that flight over. Hunter Green should be primed for a good performance. But I'm actually not going to take them as a side. I'm taking the team total over 4.5 at a plus 110 price for their team total. I think they bang around Colin Ray, who's not a great pitcher on the road this season. And then San Francisco and Los Angeles. Pipe will like this one. We're going to the under, baby. 7.5. They ain't getting 8 runs in that game. That game stays under. Give me a 3-2 final, and we'll go 2-0 tonight.
Pipe bomb.
All righty. Pipe. Baseball. What do you got, buddy?
I got Milwaukee under 8, man. I had Royals that don't count, but for my bank account under. and I had that Cleveland. Cleveland was good yesterday too for plus money, and today they won again. That under was good. Well, I'm gonna keep on the trend, man. Under 8.
All righty, reload baseball. What do you got, buddy?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Yankees Orioles under 9. The Yankees and Orioles played some tight games earlier this season. The under was 5-1 out of the 6 times they've met. Orioles home games 10-1 in the last 11 Orioles home games, and that's looking pretty solid at under 9. I think it's starting to get steamed. I'm seeing some 8.5s on some of the boards, so you want to grab that under 9. I also think Orioles have been staying pretty competitive. They just swept the White Sox in Chicago. I mean, everybody sweeps the White Sox, but at least it shows the Baltimore isn't laying down just yet, and they'll be even more up for the Yankees. So it should be a nice series here. I'm going to start off with the under, thinking maybe the bats are a little sleepy in game 1 and the game's a little tighter.
All righty. And breaking news just came down. Not really too surprising, Sammy. Clayton Kershaw to retire after this season.
Oh, well, good for him. I mean, and he finally won a World Series. He was a guy that's been doing it for so long. He's been a Cy Young winner multiple times.
Yeah.
As a fantasy baseball player, I've owned him for a couple seasons on my team. So he's a guy that I used to follow, and he was great for fantasy for me. Did you mute my mic?
Well, we got muted. What's this around the horn here?
Come on, Bobby. What are you doing?
Well, I'm still going. I'm going
down, Sammy.
I got to blame it on Bobby. I got to blame it on Bobby. He's got the keys to the truck.
I tried to mute myself. I'm having a bunch of issues today. I tried to mute myself.
Bobby, how much did you smoke before this?
Oh, shit.
Exactly.
Oh, shit. You better not drive no fucking Uber today. Hi, man.
I tried to mute myself because the wife is calling, and as Donnie, I'm sure, could tell you when the wife calls, you answer the phone.
Hey, you better pick up, man, because they're going to punish you.
Exactly. But Sammy, I'm sorry. Go on.
Well, yeah, in honor of Kershaw, you got to go with the Dodgers tonight over San Fran. It's a big deal for my fantasy matchup. I'm in the semifinals right now of my fantasy baseball. Right. And I got Yamamoto on my team. So, again, been following him. He's been having a great last couple starts. So, need him for fantasy. So, let's go with the Dodgers. And then just my other pick, I think I'm going to go with the Yankees tonight. I think I like the Yankees over Baltimore.
Oh,
wow. Big surprise there. Big surprise.
Got to give how about them Cowboys?
Yeah.
How'd they win that game, man?
Yeah.
I don't know how they won.
I mean, they have no defense at all, but, they did win. It's a good
they made Russell look like a superstar.
Yeah, it's definitely
guys.
For real.
We'll definitely cover that here in a minute. But reload, reload baseball. What do you got?
I already gave baseball.
Baseball type.
Hey! Something the wife must have said. Hey, guys! Something the wife must have said. Bobby's worried, guys.
Yeah,
he's
pretty shaky. Any chance I get, I'm coming.
That's what she said. It kind of threw off. It kind of threw off the flow of the show.
You saw what I did there.
Angel eyes.
Look at that.
There she is. That's the boss right there, guys. That's the boss.
Oh, there we go. Oh, boy.
You better pick up that phone call, Angel.
Are you kidding?
I didn't know you were home.
Maybe that's because she likes.
God, he's going to get punished.
He might actually win.
Hand it over.
All right, I'm busy, bud.
Bye.
All right, Sammy, let me jump over to you.
You know what we're talking about?
Sammy, let me cover football, NFL week number 2. How was it for you? Give me a recap on the contest.
Yeah, it was pretty good last week. Overall in the contest, I'm sitting at 9th place overall at 36 points. So I've been hitting my 7, 6, and 5 picks, which is kind of the way to do it because my record is 7-7, but I'm still sitting at 9th place. As long as you hit those at the end of the day, you got to be hitting those confident picks. And last week I had Detroit as my most confident pick, and they steamrolled that matchup. And yeah, like Pipe said, the Cowboys, how did they win that game? I was at my buddy's house. There was a bunch of Giant fans there. We ate well, but it was definitely a tense atmosphere. But definitely
couldn't be better, man. A division game and to beat the Giants.
Brandon Aubrey is just incredible. It's just such a vast difference between watching college football kickers where you're sweating 35-yarders versus pro kickers where, we have seen some missed field goals, but a guy like Brandon Aubrey, they were basically kneeling the ball, accepting a 64-yarder. They didn't even attempt to throw it like 5-6 yards. They're like, we're good at 64. But you know what? Last week 2 recap. Shout out to the top 3. Valley Boys 23 points. Shout out BMR Genie. Shout out BMR Genie.
Nice
Hey, Genie.
27 points, 6-1, and shout out to Underage Hooker. Underage Hooker, 7-0, the first one on the year, 28 points. And again, the top 3 for the season. You got Black China 3rd place at 40 points. Hard Podman at 42 points, 2nd place, and TikTok 922 at 44 points. And again, every week you got a chance at it.
Reload. How was your week number 2, buddy?
Week 2 of college football or pro?
NFL.
Well, I went 1-2 with the picks I gave on the show, and lost with the Browns and Titans, but I won with the Chiefs Eagles under. So it's always good to kind of end the week with a winner. And that was about it. Not really much else to report there.
All righty. Donnie, week number 2, how was it for you, buddy?
Wasn't too bad in the poll for us here. I got 20 points last week, so I hit my 7 and my 6. Dropped the Cowboys game, which again -4.5. I thought they would win going away. They were lucky to win that game at all. Hit the Eagles, hit the Falcons. Got sort of a bad beat on the Texans game where they ended up losing that game. Had that lead late, and then I took a flyer on a public fade on the Raiders, which got absolutely bounced last week, 20-9. So wasn't that bad. It was better than week 1. So each week you move forward. Most people have a little bit more confidence in their picks. Same way this week. So we'll be firing it away. But last week, not too bad.
And last but certainly not least, Pipe, week number 2 in the NFL.
Hey, listen, week 1 was unders. I knew they were coming. I didn't know they were coming that hard, but I had a few sides. I had the Monday night game under 52 all the way down to 44.5. You know me, Sammy. I don't stop. And, well, it turned out pretty good for me, man. Because if I'd have gotten caught on those totals on Sunday, yeah, I'd have gave it all back from week 1.
All righty, Pipe. Well, guys, poker event number 6 is going to be coming up this Saturday. As always, week to week, I try to change it up a little bit for players who can't play on certain days. So event number 6, we're halfway through. Still plenty of time to get your hands on some weekly baller coins, and not to mention our end of the season baller coins. So if you guys have any questions in regards to the poker tournament, feel free to comment down below in my thread. Ask you any questions you would like. Would love to see each and every one of you involved on a weekly basis. But Donnie, college football, let's go over to that.
You forgot the picks for NFL.
I didn't get to them yet, Pipe. Calm down.
Okay. Well, you're the captain. I told you had the keys to the truck.
Now that
you asked for opinions. Well, we did the week before, so I figure you're going right to it.
Now that you're on video, you're really trying to test my my authority.
Tell me to go fuck myself, Bobby. I'll be okay with it.
Donnie, college football. Let's go over to it. How was your last week, and what do you got up coming on Saturday?
It was decent last week, but by the way, Miami and Florida just caught a little bit of steam right now. Miami's now up to 9.5 at some outlets here in the past 15 minutes, maybe about a 2-point movement in some directions here. So that's one to keep an eye on. I do think that game does go over 15.5. Miami looks like a juggernaut on offense right now, and I think this is one of those last stands for Florida where they can't be complacent in this game because their coach will probably get fired if he loses this game with how bad they started this season, and he hasn't really had Billy Napier we're talking about, hasn't had some very good seasons at Florida. I think that's good. John Mateer, quarterback for Oklahoma, has scored in the first 3 games. He's scoring again. Now, the price is quite expensive, -145 for a quarterback to score a touchdown in college. He will do that in an Auburn-Oklahoma game. And then Purdue and Notre Dame. I'm going to take the backup running back, Jadarian Price, over 52.5 rushing yards in that game. They should be up late. Love should already have his yards. He should be able to run for at least 60-plus yards in that game. So taking it easy this week. I don't love the card, but I think there's some pretty good spots on it, though.
All righty, reload. College football last week. Well, how was it, and what do you got this upcoming Saturday?
Yeah, college football, good again for me last week. Won with my pick on the show with Arizona Friday night, and that means I haven't lost a pick on the show yet this season, which is great.
Hey,
I'm going with another Friday night game tomorrow, Iowa-Rutgers. Nice matchup there. Should be a pretty tight game. I like the under 46.5 in that one. I think, both teams have shown a lot of scoring out there, but now it's a more competitive game. I think this will be tighter. Big Ten kind of game, and the under 46.5 is what I'm going with. I'm also going to take, guess who? Hawaii +3, going back to Hawaii and the island on Saturday night.
Hawaii's been good for you too, Reload.
Won with Hawaii 2 times on this show. I'm going back with them again. This time a home dog, +3 against Fresno State. Line's been going up, caught +3. Fresno comes in with a blowout, but I think this will be a more competitive game. We know Hawaii's been pretty strong at home. A nice home dog play, Hawaii +3. So if you need that late bailout again, it's right there.
Bang.
All righty, Reload. And Pipe, college football, how was it for you last weekend? What do you got this upcoming week?
A lot of overs, man. You got to be careful. It's not like the NFL where they play defense. In college, they score a lot of points. And it all depends on the teams you're on that week. And they seem to put up a lot of points in college. It's not the pros, guys, but I got 2 unders. I got that TCU under 62.5. I think that's too high. And I like that North Carolina game under 46.5, guys. So I'm on 2 totals, TCU, NC under, boys.
All righty, Pipe. And last but not least, Sammy, college football last week for you. How was it? What do you got coming up?
Yeah, that Tennessee-Georgia game was incredible. And again, just like I said in the NFL, the difference between Brandon Aubrey cranking a 64-yarder with no problem versus Tennessee missing a game winner from 42 yards. He made it in overtime, but then Georgia scored. Luckily for those Tennessee +3.5, you got the hook right there, because that would have been a horrific bad beat there, especially with Tennessee pretty much dominating that whole game. But this week, I believe College Game Day is at the Miami versus Florida game in Miami. Yeah. And like Donnie said, that line is climbing, so it kind of depends on where you're getting that. But I think Miami's going to take care of business at home. I like Oklahoma over Auburn, which might be the game of the week in reference to the ranking-wise. You do have another top 20 matchup with Illinois versus Indiana. Indiana at home. I like Illinois +6. And then the last one is Michigan over Nebraska, probably one of the square plays of the week. Maybe we'll switch it up at a live play if Nebraska is winning, but right now I'll take Michigan as a small favorite. Just take a money line over Nebraska.
All right.
You said you're going with Illinois, Sam?
What about Illinois?
I said you're going with Illinois in the points.
Yeah, +6 on the road. Yeah.
Okay, ain't that Flying Steam?
All righty, Sam. Thank you and good luck.
There you go.
Donnie, let me jump over to you. NFL week number 3. What do you like and what do you got in your 7?
Yeah, here's the picks in my 7. I think a big mismatch. The Packers and the Browns should be a mismatch in this game. I actually think this game stays under the total because the Browns got an awesome defense and a bad offense. The Packers will do just enough to win that game, but I do think the Packers can win by double digits. Joe Flacco sits back there as an absolute statue. This is the wrong team to be an absolute statue. You saw a good defense last week, and the Ravens absolutely dismantled the Browns. I think that game stays under, but I think the Packers can win that game by more than 7.5 points. I'll lay it. How about the Bengals? I'm going to take quarterback. Look, Joe Burrow's down for the season. Carson Wentz is a starting quarterback. Aaron Jones is out at running back. I don't think the Vikings have all that much difficulty in this game moving the football up and down the field, but they don't have the components here to score a lot of points. I do think the 3.5 points make sense to take from the Bengals here. I'll take their backup quarterback versus the Vikings backup quarterback. The Falcons -5.5. I think the Panthers stink. 2 more guys on IR on the offensive line. The Falcons win that one going away. Also, I'm going to go with the Raiders. If we have a banged up quarterback situation in Washington, I think the Raiders can hang around. And I love the fact where the last time you saw the Raiders, they were awful. So nobody wants to touch the Raiders. This week, I'm going to back the Raiders. Give me the 3.5 points in that game, and we'll see how that turns out. Jaden Daniels plays or doesn't play. Maybe a backup quarterback situation with Marcus Mariota. I'll take it. Chiefs ain't losing to the Giants. I'll keep it simple there. They lay the 5.5. Even though they never cover, they're going to cover at 0-2 against the Giants to prove a point. And I'm going Ravens. I'm going Ravens my 5.5 on Monday night. I love the way they bounce back, and I think they win this game because everybody loved the Lions from last week. Welcome to the show, man. Charm City, Ravens get it done.
That's right.
Thank you. Pipe, let me jump over to you. Week number 3 in the NFL. What do you got, buddy?
I got 3 unders I'm going with, of course. That Philly under 44.5, that New England under 44.5, and that Tampa under 43.5. I also like the Bengals like Donnie. I not only like them on the spread, I like them as an outright winner there at +136. I like the Rams +3.5. And my last one, I don't have 7. It's got to be the Cowboys, Sammy, money line. Let's go. They're going to beat the Bears.
You know Sammy's going to like that. He's got his Cowboys shirt, and now he put the hat on, too.
Tony Romo, rocking the gun.
Bears.
Get that money. Get that money. That's all that matters.
Sammy,
Yeah,
you're
I am also on the Cowboys again. Square pick of the week. Their defense does stink, but so does Chicago. Chicago's
Yeah.
offense stinks, and the Cowboys' offense is legit. So I acknowledge the Cowboys' defense is horrendous, but their Cowboys' offense is a top 5 in the league. So, but they're better than Chicago. So, I mean, Cowboys as a pick
Yeah.
again. Square play.
That's what I'm
Give
saying.
it to me all day. I'm not going to not take out Dallas in that
Bang.
scenario. I also like the Steelers basically as a pick at New England. New England won off special teams, but you know what? There are 3 aspects of the game, but you take away the kickoff return touchdown and basically the punt returned inside the 30. You know, the things might be different in that game. So I'm going to take the Steelers, bounce back game. I like Jacksonville at home to the Texans. CJ Stroud is very much on the decline or what's going on over there. Last year, preseason, he was one of my MVP preseason picks. And now this year, year 3, there's a decline week 1 and 2. You know, they almost stole the game Monday night, but it had nothing to do with him. It had to do, again, with special teams, with the block punt and the big return from the punt. It was not CJ Stroud. It was special teams. After that, it was an immediate 3-and-out, and then it was the running back that had the breakout run to win that game. So, you know, I'm going to take the Jags at home. I agree with Donnie. I do like the Raiders plus 3.5 versus Commanders with potential Marcus Mariota playing. I do like the Bengals over the Vikings. Jake Browning had a really good performance last week. He came in a losing situation and came back to win that game. And I think now with a full week ahead of himself to plan, that offense is definitely superior than the Vikings, and I'll take him over Carson Wentz. And lastly, I like the Chargers at home to the Broncos. I think it's a huge opportunity, you know, for the Chargers, especially with Kansas City at 0-2. They can keep that leverage and be a 2-game lead. And it's a good statement game at home versus the Broncos. I think that offense, I'd love to
Division
see
game too, Sam.
better. Omarion's on my fantasy team, and he's not performing, but they do have some great wide receivers and Keenan Allen, and I think they're going to take care of business at home.
all righty, Sammy. Thank you. Reload. Let me jump over to you. NFL week number 3. What do you got?
Yeah, I put together some a little more than I usually have. A lot jumping out at me this week. Some divisional dogs jumping out at me and some other underdogs and an under as well. So I'm going to start with the Panthers plus 5.5 against the Atlanta Falcons. I think this is a nice home dog spot for the Panthers. I think the Falcons will just kind of go back to being the Falcons and have a crummy game like they sometimes do. And I think it's one of those coming up there. So 5.5, good number. I'm also going to take Houston Texans plus 1.5 at the Jaguars. I think it's a nice spot for the Texans to break out and finally get their first win of the year. Jaguars probably playing over their heads a little bit, and I think the Texans come in and steal that one. Also going to try the Cleveland Browns again, plus 8.5. I know last week didn't get it done there, but I think at home against Green Bay, I think it's a better spot for Cleveland. I think it might take more advantage of the defense and the home field. So going to stick with the Browns plus 8.5. Titans plus 4.5. I'm going to go with them against the Colts. Again, I lost with the Titans last week. Going to fire again this time. I think the Colts, it's more of maybe a fade of the Colts than it is taking the Titans. You know, the Colts, Daniel Jones, you really think that's going to last? I don't. I think Titans might even win outright, but we're going to take the plus 4.5. I'm also going to go with the Chicago Bears plus 1.5 against the Cowboys. I know we talked Cowboys a little while ago. You know, I think it's a tough spot for the Cowboys to get the big overtime win against the Giants. Feeling all good. That's 2 divisional games in a row they've played. And now I think it's they're going to probably just play down to the Bears level and probably just lose the game. So Chicago Bears, I'm liking that one too. And finally, the Broncos-Chargers game, which should be one of the better ones this week. I'm liking the under 45.5 there. This is I think it's going to be fought pretty hard for an early season game. You know, the Broncos really should have won last week. They didn't. So I almost think of it as a game of 2 undefeated teams, kind of showdown game in the division. I'm also going to keep an eye on the spread. The Broncos were at plus 2.5. Looks like that's going to go north to 3. As usual, the Chargers, they start doing good. Everybody jumps on the bandwagon. And I don't know about that one either. If it hits plus 3, I'm going to add the Broncos too.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. And good luck, everybody, on all your upcoming action. And we will see you on the forum.
Y'all have an awesome weekend, man.
Hey,